There comes a moment in every life, quiet, unannounced, invisible to everyone else, when a person realizes they have been negotiating with their own destiny, not with the world, not with circumstances, not with other people, but with themselves. A moment when you see with brutal clarity that every compromise you've made with fear has slowly trained the world how to treat you, that your hesitation became instruction, that your doubt became permission, and in that moment, something rises, not motivation, not excitement, something far more dangerous, decision. Because the truth is this, the world does not decide who you become. It responds to what you decide to tolerate. It bends, eventually and reluctantly, to the pressure of certainty. And certainty is not loud. It does not beg. It does not explain itself. Certainty simply moves, and reality rearranges itself around that movement. Every man or woman who left a mark on history understood this long before science tried to name it. Edison did not ask the darkness for permission before chasing light through 10,000 failures. He decided. Lincoln did not wait for confidence before stepping into the storm of a fractured nation. He decided. Carnegie did not wonder whether steel empires were possible for a poor immigrant. He decided that poverty would not be his permanent address, and the world adjusted, slowly, violently, inevitably. You see, decision is the moment when thought stops arguing with possibility and starts commanding reality. Napoleon Hill didn't call it wishful thinking. He called it definiteness of purpose, a burning desire so organized, so focused, that even setbacks begin to serve it. But most people never arrive here. Most people hover. They sample commitment like a visitor tasting food they're afraid to order. They want change without identity death, results without discomfort, success without being misunderstood, and the universe, brutally honest, completely impartial, gives them exactly what that mentality deserves. Nothing definitive, because indecision is not neutral. It is a decision to remain available to limitation. The moment you decide once, truly decide, something ancient inside you locks into place. You stop asking for signs. You stop negotiating timelines. You stop waiting to feel ready. You don't chase confidence. Confidence chases you, because confidence is simply memory of kept promises to self. And this is where the world begins to resist. Expect it. When you decide to raise your standards, friction appears. When you decide to think bigger, old realities push back. When you decide to move with purpose, people who benefited from your hesitation will get uncomfortable. This is not punishment. This is confirmation. Resistance is reality, stress testing your resolve. Henry Ford faced it when banks laughed at the idea of a car for the common man. Walt Disney faced it when newspapers told him he lacked imagination. Every visionary meets this phase where the world says, "Are you sure?" And here is where most people fold, because they mistake resistance for a warning instead of what it really is, initiation. See, when you decide once, you step out of reaction mode and into authorship. You stop narrating your life in past tense and begin speaking in inevitabilities. You no longer say, "I hope." You say, "I'm building." You no longer ask, "What if it fails?" You ask, "How will this succeed?" Your mind, once scattered, once tired from consuming opinions, starts to organize itself around your chosen direction. Thoughts line up. Opportunities become visible. Discipline stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like alignment. This is not mysticism. This is focus. When the mind is divided, energy leaks. When the mind is unified, force multiplies. That's why wandering desire produces wandering results. But decisiveness, true decisiveness, is a cutting tool. It removes alternatives. It burns bridges you should never return to. It forces creativity by eliminating escape routes. When there is no backup plan, the primary plan finds a way to breathe. This is why so many never create wealth, never master themselves, never build anything enduring. They keep an emotional exit door open. They want guarantees before commitment. But history has never rewarded the cautious admirer. It rewards the committed participant. Once you decide, you begin living differently. You wake with intention, not anxiety. You stop measuring yourself against others and start measuring yourself against the standard you've declared. Mornings become training grounds for the mind. The first thoughts you allow are chosen deliberately because you understand something most people never learn. The day is not won in the daylight, but in the subconscious hours before action begins. Belief deepens, not blind belief, but earned belief, the kind born from repetition, visualization, and self-command. You see the future before it arrives, not as fantasy, but as instruction to the nervous system. Your body begins to move as if the vision were already real, and the world, confused but obedient, starts offering alignments. And still, the work remains, because decision without discipline is just emotion. The great separation happens here. Discipline is where desire proves it isn't seasonal. It is the structure that keeps faith alive when emotion dries up. It is the decision to show up when no applause exists, when progress feels invisible, when the only witness is your own conscience. This is where the average turn back. But those who continue, those who decide once and then decide again every morning, they change internally first. They become heavier with certainty, quieter, more focused, less available to distraction. They stop arguing with reality and start shaping it. They no longer ask the world, "What do you think of me?" They say, "Watch." And eventually, the world does. Because the world always adjusts to the person who refuses to adjust to doubt.